special edition of the Kayak Bass Connection podcast. I'm your host, Jared. Tonight, we're going to start off the holiday season by having a little roundtable discussion with anglers from the Southern Illinois Kayak Club. Folks, just like we're sitting around a Thanksgiving table, maybe spread out, but we're digitally going to sit around and talk about some bass fishing and life in general. So I'm going to ask each one of my guests to just kind of introduce themselves tonight. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Josh Lincoln. I kind of grew up all over the country. I fished saltwater, freshwater, mountain lakes, and I kind of ended up here in the St. Louis region. And we started SIKC, and I kind of ran with it, and here we are.
All right, great. Thanks for joining us. Kyle.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Kyle, and from here in West Central Illinois. This is my second full season with SIKC. Been heavily bass fishing since probably 2019, kayak-wise. Before that, I grew up on the Illinois River, so a lot of my fishing background lies in catfishing and big river system type things. So bass wasn't really something I grew up with, but something I got into in about 2019, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Mike.
Hey, this is Mike. St. Louis now, Island, Illinois, kind of original. Grew up fishing pretty much every river, lake, come across. That led me down the road. I'm here now.
Awesome.
I think I started fourth full year, SIKC.
Okay. Great. And Mr. Fott.
Well, I'm James Fott. I live in southeast Missouri, actually, but southeast Missouri is not known for its great bass fishing, so I fish in Southern Illinois a lot and joined SIKC this year, 2023, for the first year, and got into tournaments, got into kayak fishing heavily, did a little bit of it over the past 10, 15 years in river systems and things like that, but I got a pedal drive kayak and got a serious fishing kayak and got into it this year, and love the family that we have at SIKC, and just, pretty much fell in love with kayak fishing based on that. Do a lot of saltwater fishing. I'm actually in Gulf Shores, Alabama right now. I'm at my buddy's condo, not at home.
Nice.
And picking up a load of kayaks from Midwest Kayak Company, which is a company I started back in the summer and has done really well so far. And that's a little bit of a nutshell.
All right, that's awesome. So it's been a while since most of us have fished in one of the the regular season tournaments. Guys, got any fishing tales that have come up in the last month or so? You guys made it out in the water?
Come on, somebody.
I was fishing today. I'm not gonna lie.
You were what?
I was fishing today.
I fished today too. No bass today though.
My parents have a nice little pond behind their house, so I went there, helped them move some furniture, and then I cast for about an hour or so, caught a bunch of crappie and one good bass. So it's always a good time.
Nice. Did you get to do any casting with that new rod and reel that you ended up with at the end of the season?
No, that's at home. I was just borrowing one of the rods he had left over there.
Yeah.
Oh, that should be in your truck always, Josh.
Yeah, you want to break a $500 rod?
No, but I don't ever leave home without my favorite rod.
Yeah. Now, Kyle, you had mentioned something you were used to actually doing a lot of river fishing, right? So this was something completely new then, going to actually spending most of your time on lakes this summer?
Yeah, started off, I didn't start off kayak fishing. I was just bank fishing the local public. I think in 2019, my wife got me a kayak for my birthday, and from there I just fell in love, and it just made it, the whole experience just so much better, getting out there in places that obviously you can't get from a bank, and in places actually too you can get further within a boat. So
nice.
But yeah, it's I think my first kayak was just a Pelican Angler Rise sit-in $300 kayak, and which it did great. Those things really move quick, but it's all, your propulsion is your arms, and you can only do so much. There's not much water coverage there. So once I got into SIKC, I was like, boy, if I want to compete at this level and with stay in line with these guys, I'm going to have to get in something. So I got a Wilderness Systems Radar 115, and I've had that since. Love it. Has the pedal drive, and it is outstanding.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about those boats. Never been in one, but
yeah, pretty stable. I mean, if it's the wind's not too bad, you can get out, you can stand on it and catch fish off of it. It's probably not as stable as from what I've seen with like top level like Hobie and whatnot, but it gets the job done, and it's a great kayak. Oh, Hobie? Oh, yeah.
Never heard of her.
Yeah.
never heard of them. Isn't one of the top professionals, the very few, I can't remember his name, professional kayak bass fisherman actually uses a Wilderness system, if I remember right.
Russ Snyder's?
Yeah, it was Russ Snyder, right?
Okay. Yeah, he's got a Wildie,
Yeah, but
well, that's pretty cool. That dude's a hammer from what I've seen. I don't know a whole lot of the pros, but man, I hear his name a lot.
Yeah, he is something else. His
Super
consistency is just his game.
Now, so this is like the off season for a lot of people fishing, but anybody making equipment changes as soon as the season was over, or looking forward to maybe some Black Friday purchases for your fishing gear? Nobody.
I know the time to get on the water.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
It's my favorite time to fish.
Yeah, I'd love to, but I got 2 kids under 2 years old, so my free time's slim and none.
I bet.
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a new truck note, so all my fishing money is out the door.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to win some tournaments next year, Josh.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Well, sometimes I'm kind of glad Josh only fishes 6 hours in the tournament, because he usually ends up in the top 5.
Yeah.
Even though he doesn't spend all day on the water like we do, he always seems to find fish.
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty proud. I was 8th overall last year, and I averaged per tournament taking 400 photos during the tournament and fishing.
Golly.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
that's
cool.
one really neat aspect that the photos everyone's producing are amazing.
Yeah. I love that about our club. That Josh is get out. I've got a lot of photos of myself, which you never can do. You can't get those on the water photos without that. And I love that we have that. And at Crossroads, I got to go do that myself and get some photos. And that's a lot to go. I thought, well, I'd fish a little bit, and take photos, and I couldn't put the camera down.
Yeah, it's hard.
And I couldn't imagine trying to fish a tournament, take some photos, and run a tournament. I don't know how you do it, Josh.
It's not easy, but it's fun, and I kind of fluctuate. If I'm having a really good fishing day, well, that camera just stays in the bag a little bit longer. And if I'm struggling and I'm getting ready to throw in the towel, then I'll run around and take photos.
Awesome. Now, have you guys done anything with the photos that other than put them on the websites and stuff? Have you been able to send them to any publications or any? I know that you've let me use a few of them, which I'm grateful for the podcast.
I've sent a couple to AFCO of Kessler when he's got his AFCO gloves, AFCO hat, AFCO bibs. So hopefully, maybe they can use one of those. That'd be cool.
Oh
yeah, I need that. You remember that one I got, Josh? That I showed you, I think, of Kessler. That was like AFCO everything.
Yeah.
and we talked about that at Crossroads. That'd probably be another good one to try to submit, through the club. I don't care. I don't want any credit. I don't. That doesn't matter to me. I want to see our club grow. I want to see our sport grow. And so,
for sure,
if that can be used, let me know. I'll get you the original.
Cool. We'll do.
Awesome. So Mike, how did you finish the year? Did you finish where you thought you should have, or you?
Considering I had a kid halfway through the season. Pregnancy complications.
Oh no!
Yeah, we were doomed from the beginning on this season for me. It started downhill and it just kept rolling. But
yeah, that's all right.
Nah, new year is going to start some new things and should be able to finish up where I think I should. Crossroads contention.
Great. And,
Mike does have one of the coolest wives. She actually tells him to go fishing, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
I tell everybody I married a unicorn. Everybody else is like, oh, my wife won't let me go. Mine's like, you need to shut up and get out the door.
Hey, we all need that time.
Get rid of you,
Yeah,
or
what's your secret? Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I cook and clean real well.
I can't complain. My wife's the same way. She maybe not. She doesn't tell me to go fishing, but she doesn't complain about me going fishing. So she's very supportive of that. So
yeah, it's nice to have that at the house.
Yeah, I have to say I'm in the same boat. I never get complaints about when I want to go.
Yeah,
that's one partner you got to have in online if you want to try to just being gone a day or two before a tournament or being gone all day during a tournament. There's kid issues, there's pet issues, there's all sorts of issues that have to be. Somebody else has got to take care of that when you're not there. So that's big.
Huge.
For sure. My wife, she's a saint. She has to put up with me anytime we have a tournament. So she loses me Friday. I'm getting ready / traveling. Saturday, I'm gone all day. And then Sunday she loses me too because I'm sitting behind a computer. I'm editing photos. I'm updating AOI points. I'm updating the website. I'm putting the post together. I mean, that's all day practically.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work.
Yep.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So, well, here's one for the wives. Well, I don't want to give them too big of a head here. Let me
standing ovation. There we go.
So, Jared, have you been fishing?
I have a little bit. Haven't really caught much to speak of, but I did make it out a couple of times. I've been trying to incorporate some different techniques, and so I just went to a different lake that I usually don't fish. And I spent 4.5 hours, and I caught one bass and one catfish. That was it. But hey, I had a good time. So
yeah,
it was nice because I had to do some different things. But unfortunately, I have to admit that my priorities shifted last week. I've finished off a contract working, and I have a lot of free time for the next couple of months. So I've been in deer stand pretty much since last.
Fish with me then.
Yeah, I'm ready to do that.
Let's do it.
I've got a couple of months, so we're good.
All right, plan on it.
Just let me know. Now you said that you might be picking up a new boat for yourself, or are you picking up more boats for the shop?
I'm picking up boats from a shop, and the guy that I get my kayaks from is in Mobile, Alabama, and he is actually an Old Town dealer as well. So after getting to play around with your 136, I guess during the last tournament we had, I've been eyeballing them for a while, and so I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought a 120 while I was down here, and got to take it out this morning and do some inshore stuff. Caught a bunch of redfish, and it is literally it's going to be completely different to fish out of that thing now. I'm going to have to rig it up and kind of figure out where I store things and things like that. But that boat is absolutely the best thing I could have done to try to help me, get better at bass fishing and tournament fishing and things like that. Probably shouldn't have done it, but I got a good deal on it because it takes care of me, and it was just too good a deal to pass up. And I'm looking forward to getting on some bass now. It worked great today. Used a spot lock for a while and actually just locked onto a spot and sat there standing in my kayak for an hour catching redfish after redfish.
Oh, wow.
Nothing big, so it's really nothing to brag about at all. But it was fun, to kind of really get to figure out how that works. And now, like jig fishing and fishing brush piles where you kind of park and sit and fish, that's going to be a big deal, I think. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's a pretty good learning curve with that motor. I'm still learning.
Yeah. I mean, imagine me now. I get up before daylight and get to the boat ramp at daylight, and or a kayak launch, and we put in and saltwater fishing. So I've got completely different gear that I'm used to, and which I saltwater fish a few times a year, so it's not that foreign. But yeah, I mean, just figuring out the little intricacies of that motor and how to run it. And I ended up losing a fish today because of that motor, because I couldn't get to the remote, and this fish is just rip and drag, and ended up breaking me off in structure because I got to figure out how to get back to the fish. And, things like that are a learning curve, but I'm excited to figure it out.
Definitely. So,
my shop's not selling any kayaks right now. I don't, but people just slow down, and I guess a lot of people hunt and things like that. But right now is a great time to be on the water.
Yeah, I can honestly say that I haven't done much kayak fishing at all in November. And I'm crazy because I'm 150 yards from a nuclear power lake right here. So there are parts of that are open and the water's fairly warm all year long. So I might have to give that a shot this year since I'm maybe going to have a little more time than normal. So
you just got to be careful.
Let's do that.
You got to be careful this time of year. I've driven to Newton and Coffeen both during shotgun season to find that the lake is closed. So
yes.
Oh, really? They closed it because of shotgun deer season?
Yeah, they don't want any pedestrians getting shot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I understand that.
Yeah.
So,
well, I've noticed where I'm at is they've actually posted more areas. They've actually just posted no activity at all for no hikers, no nothing during shotgun season. Well, I shouldn't say shotgun because now it's rifle season in Illinois, and I think that's probably why because now people can shoot rifles. So it's definitely something you got to think about.
Wasn't the cold water arm for Newton closed for a while for duck hunting? I thought like after the middle of November, something like that, it closed for duck hunting.
Yeah, it seems like Newton was one of those lakes that did have that duck hunting was allowed, so they did close part of it. I read across that when I think I was reading one of their yearly reports or something.
Yeah, it's the same as I thought I'd read it that saying that like Coldwater Arm basically closed for duck season. But nobody's fished that anyway.
Yeah, that was too far for me to get to very often. So
it's I think it's one of the best. Trying to find the time to get 3 hours away from the house is hard.
Yeah. Newton's bittersweet for me. That was my first tournament and some major screw ups at that tournament. So I'm ready to get back. Mine's the exact
opposite. That was the first one I won.
Nice.
So mine's a little bit better story than yours.
Yeah. So we're talking about the fall, or not fall, we're going to be in winter fishing here. So how do you guys change up what you've done, what we're usually doing during the summer? How does that change your presentation or baits you use?
Nobody?
I'm just curious because I have my thoughts.
So I'll tell you what I've done lately, and I've been going to a place I won't name because this podcast is going to be everywhere. But I've been catching a lot of fish, and I've caught some good fish on chatterbait lately up shallow, and that has been really good. But one thing at Cedar Lake that I've done last winter was I've caught. You don't catch very many fish, but you catch some good fish on jerkbait, or I did, and that bite's, I would say, probably coming in the next couple of weeks. And you might go over there and spend 5-6 hours and only catch 5 or 6 fish, but those 5 or 6 you catch are going to be good ones. So that's what I'm looking forward to now. I'm looking for that switch to flip to deep water again, or fish suspended off ledges and catch them on jerkbait. So
yeah, jerkbaits along those bluffs are always real good in the late fall or every winter.
Yeah.
I like to go big 8, 10, 12-inch Huddlestons, stuff like that. Go low and slow.
Yeah,
you only get 1 or 2 bites, but the ones you get are usually pretty dang good.
Yeah, I want to try that. Maybe I might pick your brain about that a little bit because I want to try the big swim bait thing.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about it is you have to kind of get specialized gear for it. Now, with you having saltwater stuff already, you can probably get away with it.
Yeah.
But, it's almost on the verge of, catfish rods is what I'm using.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have
I've got one pretty heavy rod, but I could use one of my saltwater rods that I've got that I think would work well. It'd be a spinning rod. That's the only downfall, but it would work, I think.
Yeah, I think it would work.
See, I go the opposite in the winter. When it's dead of winter, I'm throwing a Ned rig and just pulling it as slow across the bottom as I can,
Yeah. It'd be kind of like dragging a jig in the winter, I guess. A lot of guys drag a jig real slow down banks in the winter. So I've never fished with a Ned rig. Might have to try that too.
Oh, it's a cheater bait for sure.
It
tell you
will catch
what,
fish.
it catches fish. So yeah, that's the one thing but the only thing I've caught fish on in the wintertime is a Ned rig.
I'll be dang.
You put
Yeah,
down
peanut butter and jelly, Z-Man, shines during the winter.
Yeah.
I've caught a bunch of fish on PB&J at Cedar.
What about you, Kyle? What do you do in the winter?
Finesse jigs are, especially too when the cold water. Well, around here is the Ned rig, finesse jigs, and then lipless crankbaits. Working those on like points that are quick, deep transitions to that deep water to channel swings and whatnot. That seems to be really good. That's the only place I could get that to work right now is a local prairie lake. I'm probably 13 miles from a ramp there, so it's pretty, it's heavy vegetation, pretty clear water. So using
that lipless,
kind
do
of
you
use a
yo-yo
shallow to
that?
deep. Yes. Yep. So I'll cast shallow, and then once I get into that deeper part, either a leg, start kind of like doing a rip up and then letting it fall, and then rip up, and then because I don't want to leave it too long because I don't want, depending on what color I'm using. I usually use in the clear water like a more translucent, pretty clear with some red in it. That seems to be pretty good here, at least at Prairie. So, but yeah, with that, and then like finesse jigs with kind of little Ned rig style trailers on it. So seems to
Kyle,
that works around here. So
Kyle, are you? So what are you doing? You said it's heavy vegetation. So what are you doing? Throwing it off the edge of grass?
yep,
Grass
right on the
line?
edge. Yep.
Okay.
So because especially in more or less that gets better in more high noon hours when the water gets warmer, and
Right.
catching those ones that are kind of moving up and around and going around that vegetation too. So that's usually a good fall to winter transition type approach that works well.
Now you said you're fishing some at Prairie. Now, if I remember right, we went there at the tournament trail and had a tough time catching anything of any size.
Yeah.
Any luck with anything over 10 or 12 inches there?
Well, I mean, you can go out there and you will catch the snot out of like 8 to 11 inches. So, because I think we dropped the inch, from 12 to 10 for Prairie.
Yeah,
thank
right,
God,
10-inch
because
minimum.
it actually made it interesting for us. We could most of us caught a limit just by getting by with mostly anything between 10 and 11. So the chatterbaits and that time of year too, that big 13-inch worms work really good on them weed edges.
Have you run into any muskies out there, Kyle?
I have not, and I'm very surprised because I know specifically talking, because I know a few of the guys that they caught. I think Austin said he might have caught one on a chatterbait.
On our
you did too.
Yeah.
Yep. So no, I have yet to hook into one, and I'm kind of looking forward to that accidental little surprise there. But
that would be super fun. I hooked two at Banner this year, and on a big 10-inch worm, and really surprised me because I just didn't. You don't kind of correlate muskie and 10-inch worms like it big swim baits or these big gregarious
spinners and stuff like that.
And two that just ripped drag till it broke on a finesse rod. So it's like I had no chance, but I would love to get tied up with one on a rod that I could handle it on. That'd be fun. Had one at Kincaid too that come up and swiped at my chatterbait right at the kayak, and just missed it. And it was I'm guessing probably a upper 20s, maybe low 30s muskie. So it wasn't a giant, but it was a good sized muskie, and
Yeah.
so that's on my list of things to try this winter. I'm going to try to go catch a muskie this winter.
Yeah, that'd be fun. They're like what they say, the fish of 10,000 casts, right?
Yeah.
So
That's what I've
Yeah.
always heard.
if you spend, it's pretty sure we've all done 10,000 casts for bass this year. So I guess if we're doing it in the right water, we'll come up with one.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. The odds will work out. As a matter of fact, there's a pretty good population in this Lake Evergreen, which is kind of north of Bloomington, and they, I read that a fishing report from there said the best way to catch a muskie there was to go bass fishing.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I've heard a lot of guys say that too.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, throwing a bass lure, you're gonna run across a muskie in musky water.
So, any other species that you guys have go for instead of, or in addition to any freshwater species? I know that James, you've been down to some saltwater stuff. So, does anybody do any cold water or crappie fishing or anything like that this time of year?
I'd love to.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to go catch some walleye this year. I got a buddy that's really good at catching walleye in river systems in Missouri, so we're gonna go try that this winter. But
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
that's about it. I've never caught one, but hopefully we're gonna try to go catch some. He's already caught a couple this year, as some of these cold fronts we've had, and
Mm-hmm.
everything's kind of settling into that pattern. So we're gonna try to get on that. But
We've got a lot of lakes here in the central part of Illinois. It's that a lot of these smaller lakes, they've been stocking saugai.
yep,
Saugai.
sauger.
Saugers, yeah. And they're,
It's
man,
sauger. Yeah. It's
they're-
walleye and sauger
yeah,
combined.
they're a
yeah.
different looking fish, but they're,
Oh,
they're
so it's a hybrid.
aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Yeah,
don't.
they're
They don't
hybrid.
reproduce.
Okay.
But
I
they
caught
will,
sauger in Kentucky Lake growing up, but I didn't
And
know
most
that they
walleye-
were cross. Okay.
most walleye are pretty soft. I mean, once they've got the bait, you're probably not going to feel a lot. But man, them hybrids, they're monsters. They just nail it. Really aggressive.
Huh. Well, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, there's a good population up a lake near here, Sky Rush,
Mhm.
and you'll catch them bass fishing, crappie fishing. I went crappie fishing there earlier in the spring, and they were hitting little tiny crappie jigs. And I mean, they weren't big or nothing, but they stock it quite often. So there's a big population of them out there, and they're fun to catch, but they are
Yeah.
vicious.
Yeah. Awesome. So, where do you guys like to try to hit? I know we're all kind of spread out throughout the state of Illinois and even St. Louis there. If you're able to go out this winter, what's your favorite spot to go? You're not tournament fishing; you're just going out for fun fishing.
If I'm going out, I'm probably going to make the drive to Newton just to fish some somewhat
Yeah.
warmer water.
Yeah.
So I don't have to slow down quite as often.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm same boat. I got family that lives out there, so I can at least crash at their place.
I'll tell you what, you guys don't discount Clinton Lake. I mean, it's
Oh,
my
man.
home lake. I don't actually spend a lot of time in some part of the lake where all the wreck boats are a lot, but this time of year, I mean, it's pretty good.
Is it a power plant lake?
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, I believe the nuke's running right now, but I was actually overlooking the lake Thursday in a deer stand, and there was smoke coming off the water from the warm water.
Oh,
So,
wow.
But
Yeah, I wish Lake of Egypt still generated hot water, but all the guys I know bass fish over there, it's just not near as warm as it used to be. They're still generating some stuff, but it's not like it used to be. So, because that's another lake that's pretty close for me to get to. But it's just not like it was before whatever they did to change the power plant. It's just not.
I think all those coal fire plants have to be shut down by the year 2025. They have to all be shut down. So a lot of those lakes are going to transition to just cold water lakes. Be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because Egypt's good. Egypt's got a lot of fish. It's got some good fish, but I've got a buddy that fishes boat tournaments there. Actually, I know a couple guys that do, and they said the quality of the fish has went down, but they're catching a lot more. So, we had a day or two last winter over there that was pretty good. You know, the water's still warmer there than it is other places, but it's, you know, the stories I heard from years ago, it's not the same. So
Yeah.
we don't have any of those lakes anywhere close to me. You know, all those lakes that we fish in in our club that's some of the farthest lakes of those power plant lakes for me. So
Yep, I
Kyle-
usually go hit up St. Chris, and they'll keep the is it the middle strip there's open. They close the outside with the west and the east wing strips there that shut down for duck season, but they keep the one that runs in the middle there where the straw cast boat ramp is. That one usually stays open where you can fish that area.
I didn't know that.
So-
Yeah. And that power plant's still running, right? So
Yes.
I know it was running this summer. At least the water was 97 degrees.
Good Lord, it was warm.
man,
I had probably two of the worst fishing days I've ever had going there in the summer. And then, of course, after that, everybody tells me, "Oh, don't go in there in summer. It's horrible in the summer." It's like, yeah, I found out.
I thought when I originally messaged Jared about this podcast, I thought it would be cool to kind of go around, and the whole idea of it was to kind of go around like a Thanksgiving table and kind of say why we're thankful for kayak bass fishing and kind of how it got us here. So I'd love to go around the room and see how everybody's thankful for something.
Oh, that's an awesome idea, Josh.
yeah.
You might want to start.
Well,
Yeah,
Mr.
listen,
Prez.
All right. I was thinking about this the other day, driving home from work, and I had about an hour drive home, so I had a long thought. And it was when I bought my first kayak. I mean, it was literally just a perception paddle kayak. I only bought it because my friends all had it, and I could think about that very first day I went out and I fished. And if somebody could have told me that day that 5 years from then you're going to be leading one of the largest kayak organizations in the Midwest, it just would blow my mind. It's like, yeah, I loved it, but I didn't realize how much kayak fishing would take into a part of my life, and just introduced me to so many friends that I never would have met without it. So I'm thankful for that.
That's all.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll jump in next, I guess. Kayaking actually started for me as a way to access hunting spots. And then transitioned to, it's like, hey, I'd like to fish out of this thing too. And then I think was my third year, I think, fishing our club and starting to get to know the guys a little bit more. And of course, after having a conversation with Josh about trying to build the fellowship and then starting the podcast, and just through that process, I've met so many new friends. I've met people that have similar interests, and it's enabled me to kind of pursue the sport of fishing with more enthusiasm than I probably did before, because nobody else I really knew around me kayak fished, at least seriously. And I've always been a very passionate, but you're not very good fisherman. And you hang out with some of these folks that are in these tournaments every weekend, just by listening to them and seeing what they're doing, you start to learn and get a little better and a little better and a little better. I'm thankful for this group, just how they've helped me enjoy my time on the water and made more friends. That's one thing I did not anticipate when joining this tournament trail is actually the fellowship that's here. It's competitive, yes, but it's not. Nobody is taking themselves too seriously in most of our events. Everybody has time to say hi on the water, so I appreciate that. I'm thankful for the attitude that their club has, the atmosphere.
For sure.
Yeah, Jared, I could echo a lot of what you said for sure. I got into this. I started fishing. I've had kayaks forever. I mean, paddle kayaks and fish river systems in Missouri. We're fortunate we have some very good, different, clear rock bottom rivers that we can fish. And it was always mainly a float trip, but I always take a fishing pole and catch smallmouth. And I really like the idea of fishing from a kayak because it puts you close to the water. And when I joined this club, after I got a pedal drive kayak. I bought that for saltwater fishing when I come down here on vacation and things like that. It just opened up so many opportunities for fishing. And then, I get hooked up with this club, and it changed everything for me. Like, it's literally, I caught a lot of my best fish this year because of the club. All the guys in the club are super helpful with sharing ideas. I've got to fish some incredible water because of it. And, I'm just thankful we have something like this. And I'm thankful that it's a group of guys, because I was in both Missouri clubs, and there's nothing wrong with either one of them. They're both have good people and people I'm friends with. But it seems like in the Illinois club, we're just so much closer. We talk every day almost, and at least some of us. And that's pretty incredible to put a group of guys together to compete that also have become really good friends and literally share ideas and give lures away during tournaments. Like, that just doesn't happen anywhere else. And I never thought that would happen, when I got into tournament fishing, but I've seen it. I've done it. I had my best finish all year at Cedar, and I caught my 2 upgrade fish at the end of the day with a jig that Darren Hemker gave me. And, like that's awesome. And I'm thankful that we have a group of guys that do that kind of thing, and that are there to compete, but they're there to share information and just, make sure everybody has fun and does well and supports each other.
Yeah, could you imagine any other organization, the leading guy for Angler of the Year, tossing bait, saying, "Hey, this is what I'm catching them on"?
Yeah, literally, he did. He begged me to fish with him. He said, "Dude, I feel really good about what I've done. I'm not telling you how much I've got because I don't want you to tell anybody else. But here's how I'm catching them. Pull up right here beside me, and we'll fish together." I've got video of it all. I mean, we fished together for 2 hours straight, and I caught 2 of my upgrade fish, which put me, at the best finish of the year. And like, that just doesn't happen in any other tournament series. Boat tournaments, you would never see that. And I don't think you would see that in other kayak tournament clubs, So it's incredible. I'm super thankful for this club. I really am.
Yeah, I know for me, like, I got into it because of the competition aspect. Grew up playing sports, and when it gets old to play sport, love to fish, let's do it competitively. And then camaraderie came in on the back half. Like, hey, this is actually just a bunch of really cool dudes that share the same, excuse me, same passion for fishing. So I'm super thankful for the camaraderie. That's, to me, the coolest thing about the fact that, you get to maybe get lucky and catch a fish and make the money. That's a bonus.
Yeah.
Cal, you want to fish up?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, because I first got it, the whole purpose of getting into this, kind of just exactly what Mike said, was, I'm competitive. So I wanted to, I first got into doing like the KBF Challenge series, and just getting your feet wet into something to get some sort of, you're competing against somebody. And, the whole competition aspect is still there here, but it's, just like if you guys have said, is you're not going to run into the amount of the fellowship, the camaraderie that you're going to get, the help. And, Mike, I know this year, I don't know if you don't remember, but in Newton, I think I pulled up and you were fishing a reed line, and I got behind you, and I think you caught a couple fish, and you're like, "Hey, I'm throwing a white swim jig, just letting you know, if you're not catching anything, try that." So, I mean, just out of nowhere too. So I really put a lot of appreciation into that. And then to that same tournament, there was another angler. I think he dropped his catch board in the water or something, or lost it. And I think Josh helped him out. He came back all the way to the ramp, got his, and gave it to him to use. And so that,
I wonder who that could be.
I can't remember his name. I was talking to him in the parking lot afterwards, and he was extremely just blown away. I think this might have been his first year as well, getting into this. So, I am extremely thankful for the whole aspect of getting to know other people of like-minded, people that share the same passion that I do. And I take fishing as a way of kind of stress release, getting away, taking, as it's kind of like kind of weird to say, but it's just like it's a different thought process when you're out there, and a lot of people view that as stressful, but it's just like no, it's fun. It's I guess it's the challenge and the variability that bass fishing has of who, what, when, where, why this happened, and that's really what drove me in. And then being on this playing field with this group of guys that have been in SIKC, because this is the first time I've ever been a part of any, call it tournament club or anything like this, and it's been nothing but just a lot of fun, and I'm very thankful for the welcoming that you get. I know I was so nervous last year when I first started. My first tournament was in Newton, never been there before, and just pull up to the ramp and people are just like, hey, how are you, and get already giving you information. It's just like, man, YouTube can't do that too much justice. So especially with these guys, because I think the two guys that I met right off the bat were Sean and then Kessler and Dustin, and
those are good guys.
I was like, oh, well. Yeah. And then after 2 years of fishing with those guys, covering the top 5 all the time, it's just like, well, you're getting it from the horse's mouth there. So it's that type of stuff that just goes so far, and especially with these like people like me who are, as Jared, you said, just, I'm not, I'm pretty much a mid-pack guy throughout the year, but it's just the passion of being out there, having fun, and still being able to have that competitiveness and camaraderie. I think that really goes a long way.
James was the guy who dropped his catchboard in the water.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. As you're telling that story, I'm thinking, I think I've heard this before, and I think it is James. But he did a good job of having a straight face.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a perfect example, though.
So the story with that, Kyle, real quick, was I hadn't caught many fish, and Josh come over to take photos, and he said, hey, you ought to be throwing a white chatterbait. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Josh knows this lake. I'd never been there before. And about 30 minutes later, I caught an 18 on a white chatterbait. And I'm thinking, this is a great way to put the first fish on the board. And I lost that fish off the board. And, of course, I was shook up. I was frustrated myself. And I caught a 15 3/4, got it measured, got it photoed, got it submitted. No big deal. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm back in the game. I've got my head straight again. And about 10 minutes later, I caught a 16. And when that fish flopped, the fish went to the left and the board went to the right, and both of them went to the bottom.
Oh,
so I ended up
my goodness.
15 3/4 that tournament. And but mostly because I was in my head the rest of the day. I think me and Josh met around 10 o'clock that morning, 10:30 probably. Yeah. And got the board at the boat ramp. So, now I've spent 15 minutes going to the boat ramp and, 15, 20 minutes going back to where I was fishing. And I just never could put anything together because I was in my head. And that was it. I caught a couple small fish that day, but that was it. So, yeah. There's a YouTube video about it. The whole thing, tell the whole story.
Really?
Now that you say that, I think I remember watching that, because now that I remember, because I remember what you're saying, because I believe that you made a post or something, and I read it, and that's something it's just like so agonizing. We all feel it's just like, how do you get this fish to stay? And then,
yeah.
Knock on wood, I have not lost a fish since Newton.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's
better man than me.
Everybody, but this is part of the club, right? Is everybody knew about it at the tournament. They were like, do this, do that. And then Josh made a video about it that he really went through the process of how you protect yourself from that. And so I do that with every fish. And like I said, knock on wood, I haven't lost one since then. I've had a couple flop into the bottom of my boat or flop into my net, which is why you put a net there.
Yeah.
And it's been good. So
also big shout out to Catch Products who donated a couple boards to us so I can keep extras for spares just like that.
That's
Catch
awesome.
is unbelievably nice, and they bless our club all the time. So big shout out to them.
Yeah. Great product and great company, sounds like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and James, you've put out some really high quality YouTube videos here in the last 6 or 8 months. Tell everybody about what's your channel called, so those people listening can follow it.
It's Stillwater's Fishing. Right now, I've got, I think, after this trip, I've got 5 edits in the bag right now. I'm behind a little bit, but remodeling my bathroom. So that's all I've done for the past few weeks. Either remodel the bathroom or I go fishing, one of the two. So I haven't had time to edit. But yeah, Stillwater's Fishing. I film every single time I go fishing, and I just try to put out content. I don't do much on the education side because I'm still learning myself, but I have done a lot of pieces that talk about, hey, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing. And I've been able to catch some big fish. I've caught some cool moments on camera and things like that. So channel's growing. I hope to get some stuff done over the winter that help it grow some more, and just a mixture of stuff. It's mostly bass fishing, predominantly obviously kayak fishing, and then saltwater, and that's usually always kayak. So yeah, kind of a mixture of things, but I just try to have fun. I enjoy it. I'm fortunate that I get to do what I do, and that's probably what I'm thankful for more than anything, is I've been able to turn some of this into a platform to help me, which has helped me start the kayak business. So it's been pretty cool.
Heck yeah. I'm also thankful for how much we've grown as a club, not only in like camaraderie, which we all mentioned, but in a skill level. Our club has gone way up. I mean, if you start looking through our stats in the first 2 years of our tournaments were won with like 81 to 84 inches. And nowadays, if you're in 81, 84 inches, you're lucky to be in the top half of the field. You better be coming with 85 plus to be in the top 5 or 10, So I'm really thankful that all of us, and from talking with one another at the ramp and learning skills from each other, we've all grown as anglers, which is awesome.
Yeah. 100%. I know I have. I mean, my goal this year was to catch a fish over 20, or catch a 20, and I've caught a couple of those this year, and I've caught a lot that were close, and I'd never done that before. I mean, fishing growing up at Kentucky Lake, I've caught some 5 and 6 pound bass, but that was off the bank as a kid, just getting lucky with a spinner bait in the winter, literally. Or just fishing out in the boat and stumbling across a big fish. We never caught numbers of fish, and for me to be able to put up anything over 80 inches in my first year like that's been pretty special. And I in the monthly tournaments I've done, I've had mid to upper 90s on a couple of those, and obviously you have a month to do that, but still you've still got to go out and catch those big fish, and I've literally used tactics that I've learned from the club to go and catch those fish. I mean, I would not be able to do it without that. So yeah, the name of this podcast, Jared, should be "This is Why You Should Join SIKC," because you're becoming better fisherman.
That's pretty much, yeah. Speaking of advertisement, and Josh and I talked about this. There's a point where you might be too successful. Our club's grown enough because how many memberships are going to be able next year, Josh?
I think we're going to do 65.
65.
We're going to set, because that way a lot of our tournament permits are set for 50. So that'll kind of set where, with some people missing and other people being there, we'll get more full tournaments.
What was the average attendance this year, Josh? Like per tournament, what do you think?
I think it was in the low 30s. I was pretty disappointed if it didn't hit 30. We had a couple really big ones towards the beginning of the year, and that's every tournament series. Your first 2 tournaments are your 2 biggest, and your second to last tournament is always your lowest turnout. And then a lot of people come back for the final tournament of the year, award ceremony, the fun stuff.
Awesome.
All right, well, guys, we've been on here about 52 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and slow things down a bit and give you back the rest of your evening. I want to thank everyone. The one thing I'm very thankful for is that whenever this podcast got launched, I haven't had anyone that I've asked to be on here that said, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to you, or they wouldn't sit down and give us a really good interview. So I'm very thankful for guests like everyone that's with us tonight and everyone that we've had in the last year. We look forward to doing more of these in the future. I kind of like just this roundtable discussion. We didn't have any topics that we wanted to talk about when we walked in tonight, just kind of see where the discussion went. Does anybody have anything particular they want to bring up before we close up for this evening?
Get out and get a kayak and go fishing.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
It is literally one of the coolest hobbies you could be a part of. If you like the outdoors, if you like fishing at all, like get a kayak and go fishing. It's fun.
Yep.
I mean, even if you don't like fishing, if you just want to get out and go see some cool places, I mean, even if you're into photography, like go to Cedar, North End. I mean, it's such a diverse area. It's beautiful. I mean, there's a million places like that you can only access with a kayak. So get out and go do something useful.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me how many people I talk to that when I mention kayaks, they have a story. That like I swear, I know in the subdivision I live at, every other house has got kayaks in the backyard. And so many people. Just had a conversation with a guy the other day. And he said he was going. Him and his wife were taking a trip, and I said, "So where are you going?" He said, "Well, I'm going to buy her a new kayak." It's
awesome.
They're getting so popular.
I was just down at the beach before it got dark, and the guy, I just ran into a guy that was surf fishing, and he was, it came up. He said, when did you get down here? What have you been doing? And I told him I've been, kayak fishing this morning. I don't surf fish much, and he's like, I've been thinking about buying a kayak. What's that like? And we got to have a great conversation. Why? Because of kayaks. Like it's a growing sport, and it really connects people on a level that, I mean, I've not seen in a long time. I mean, worked in the hunting industry for years and met a lot of people, traveled around a lot of places. And this is about the closest thing I've ever seen to what you see with that industry. Like you don't see the camaraderie in fishing like you do. Hunting has that because you celebrate people's successes and, people don't want to give their spots, but in fishing, like everything's a secret.
Mm-hmm.
There are some things I probably wouldn't tell people just because everybody get mad at me, and I don't share things that I go do sometimes. But for the most part, I'll tell anybody anything because, like, why not? Let's get more people involved in this sport because it's a great sport to be involved in.
Yeah.
And kayak fishing, I mean, you can make it just as inexpensive as possible too. I mean, starting with just a couple $100 kayak and getting out there, that right there is enough. So.
Yeah.
And especially in today's, with inflation we're experiencing today, I mean, that bass boat that you used to be able to buy, for a used bass boat that take yourself and your wife out or something, you're talking $15,000. Now that thing's $30,000. So the affordability of the entry point is amazing. You can go all different levels, but yeah, Kyle, you're right. You can get out there with a couple $100 out of your pocket. Facebook Marketplace is full of used kayaks sometimes. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thanks again for your time. It's been great seeing each one of you, and we'll stay online here after we stop recording. But thanks again, guys. I appreciate it, and above all else, have a wonderful Thanksgiving with you and your family.
Thank you.
Thank you.